to my long group. I am, you could say, co-owner of the Garden of Eden now. My dad Zeppelin, with a group of people, started the garden about 5 years ago now, maybe 6 years ago, I would say 6 years ago now, and I've been involved in many different ways. However, now I have taken a full-time role in a more frontward role, and now you could say I run the garden. So the Garden of Eden, the name itself, it's just a spin on getting back to nature, getting back to the food that our ancestors once used to eat. And so we model our teachings after the late Dr. Sebi, and he's a famous holistic doctor that kind of popularized what it means to eat alkaline foods. And so if you think about the pH scale, you have alkaline and you have acidic, two very different sides of the spectrum. And when you eat alkaline food, that means you're eating food that's high in oxygen. And when the body is well oxygenated, that means disease cannot thrive. And so the Black community is plagued by disease. And we say that obviously stress, the everyday stresses of being a Black person in America, but food is the other biggest cause of that disease. And so we're here to change the narrative around healthy eating. We're here to change the narrative around really what we put in our mouth and how that manifests itself in different ways throughout our body, throughout our mindset, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so we have a fitness facility upstairs at first, and the restaurant, the food piece came out of that. And so when we talk about health and wellness, a lot of times fitness is the forefront of the conversation. However, the real truth is that it's 80% nutrition and 20% fitness. And so there was a need to, in order to get results on the fitness side, there was a need to encourage everyone that was coming through the door to change their diet. And so people didn't have a means to do that because, people work, people have to take care of their households and so on and so forth. And so we started serving lunch and dinner to the clients very small upstairs. Yeah. And then we realized there is 5 years ago, half of the world didn't even know what the term vegan or plant-based was. And so we realized there is a need for healthy eating in our community especially. And so we moved downstairs into this space now where not only are we encouraging people to change their diets, but as Daryl, participates in the conversations here, we're here to just kind of change the mindset of the Black community in general. And we're here to promote togetherness and unity. And so food is a really awesome way to do that.
Right.
Okay. I'm Anthony Porter. Actually, I live around the corner, so it's totally convenient. But 100% alkaline diet. Body's alkaline. You want to keep your body right. I've been a vegan now for going on 3 years. Perfect to have this place in my backyard. I eat here on a regular because, like you said, alkaline diet. Your body's alkaline. That's what you want in your system. So I'm telling you, this place is heaven sent because I don't have to travel. I know the food's organic. I know it's good for me. Like, you can hit other so-called vegan restaurants, but they really don't know exactly what they're doing. A lot of times, it's not alkaline. It's food that your body really doesn't want in it, and you end up eating it. I prefer coming somewhere where I know they know what they're talking about and getting the food that my body needs. Because now we think we live in a food desert, but the way that they grow food now on the super farms, the nutritional value is pretty much zero. So if you're not eating organic, you're pretty much not eating any food. I mean, you're going to need 4 times the amount of food your parents ate just to get the nutritional value. So when you think you're full, you might be full, but your body's not. So I prefer coming here because I know when I'm full, my body will be full that part.
So, one of the things I tell new customers when they come in here is that you're always gonna leave learning something. And so we have regulars that are conscious and that are also invested in elevating the community. So with that being said, if one of us from the kitchen or the front is not leading a conversation that's teaching someone something, we can count on someone sitting at the table to lead a conversation. So right before this taping, we were having a conversation about Stockholm Syndrome, and I just learned that term today, but how Black people, are always looking for the good one, the good white person. And so, there's really all kinds of conversation that goes on. There's conversations about cryptocurrency and whether or not it's good for Black people. There's conversations about the mental health of Black people.
Okay.
There's all kinds of conversations, and so really anytime you come in this door, you're gonna learn something or you're gonna participate in something that is aiding towards elevating your mind.
So my name's Gary Porter. Friends, people that really know me, they call me Brother Gary. Now, I own and operate along with my partner David Lewis an all-Black mental health clinic. So this place is very important, believe it or not, to what we do there. I'd like to give an example. So many times we have children that come in whose parents are really concerned and they've been diagnosed or they believe they have ADHD. And because we know the importance of food, before we even think about asking our medication prescriber to prescribe them medication, we'll oftentimes send them up and ask them to speak to either Zeph or to the Maya and to talk about how their children are presenting. And quite often, by the time they have a conversation with Zeph or the Maya and they change the diet in the home, what they believe was ADHD subsides. And so it really talks to the importance of food and what we're putting in our body and how that food affects our mental health. The other thing is, just in general, when we talk about self-esteem, a lot of the people that we see that may be somewhat obese and they've been really trying for many, many years to lose weight, we found that the Garden of Eden has been a good partner to the African Diaspora Mental Health Association because they educate our clients, and we've seen how our clients' self-esteem arises as the body weight drops, and I contribute that to a lot of the education that they receive from the garden here. And in terms of the conversations, well, this is a place of education. It's just not a place of food. And I regard this place as a place where Africans, people of color, can come and have what we call emotional emancipation, where we can actually have a conversation in private amongst ourselves and be extremely honest about what's going on in our community. So for all those reasons, I come here to the Garden of Eden, and I would ask anybody that's an African to come here and take in this experience.
Well, my dad, Zev, I think he has a zeal, I guess you could say, for elevating Black people, and I think that with that energy that he possesses, that's just what the garden possesses. And so one of the things that we focus on is the experience when you come in. It's really not about the food. The food takes care of itself, but it's the experience you're giving somebody that's gonna make them want to come back. And there really is there's not many places where fruitful conversation is happening in our community. And I think that since the beginning, it's always happened, whether it's about through food or entertainment. There's rap sessions, there's open mics, there's all these things that happen where people just automatically feel at home. And I think that encourages people to participate in the conversation as well as spread the word about the environment that, you know, we possess here. My favorite part of the day is when I get to engage someone in a conversation. So, you know, once we have all of our stuff together in the back of the kitchen and I get to really tell people about why we're here, I think that brings me the most joy. Sometimes we fight about who's gonna go out and talk to the people because you really do meet a lot of people, and you really do, like, I can learn something from people that come through the door, and I think that it's really fun to do that. And so my favorite part of the day is really getting people to understand why we're here and really solidifying, okay, you know, I let somebody know why we're here, and so hopefully they can take the energy and the information that they learn and spread it to someone else, or they can recommend for someone to come here where they're in a time of need, and they need answers.
Okay. Talk to me.
So you know how to prepare and everything?
I haven't actually. Let me hear it because I've been hearing my own way. I'm coming out. I've been making it like
Different every time. So you want to soak it in spring water for about 4 to 8 hours. You can put it, yeah.
I've been doing like 40 days.
Oh, that's fine. It doesn't, yeah. But then after you soak it, you want to rinse it off with spring water again to get all the extra salt out. And then you need a good blender. So if you have something close to a Vitamix, that'll work. So you want to put condensed the Ninja. Yeah, that should be fine. So you put a small piece and then water, and then you blend it up until it's the consistency you like, and then you just keep adding small pieces of water.
Now,
You don't want to overpower your blender.
with the consistency, like, is this supposed to be like dripping or like thicker?
So it depends. The more water you put, the more liquidy it'll be. So if you want it to be thicker, put less water. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you, let's say you want it to be really thick and kind of solid, just when you're blending it, put small pieces of sea moss and just kind of let it get.
Our menu, I mentioned Dr. Safe earlier. So he went through and he created a nutritional food guide. And so if you look that up on Google, you can find it. It's a specific list of vegetables, fruits, grains, spices, teas. What else am I missing? Sweeteners, you know, everything that you would need in your kitchen. It's a specific list that we follow here. And we also only serve organic products in our kitchen. And, you know, we tell people you can eat an alkaline diet all day long, but if you're not eating organic as well, then, you know, it changes things, but it doesn't make the full impact. And so the difference between organic and GMO is that organic has been grown with no chemicals, or the least amount of chemicals.
Okay.
And so when you're talking about getting back to nature and getting back to the way our ancestors used to eat, we want to get away from all the chemicals. And so even down to the seasonings, we use organic foods. And we also change our menu every day. Hi, Miss Angie. We change our menu every day.
Okay.
And so that is because, you know, people have their favorites at a restaurant, and they will come every day, or every time they come, they will get the same thing. And we're really promoting health, and there's no way that you can be healthy by eating the same thing every day. And so that's one of the reasons why we change the menu every day. And we're famous for, I guess you could say, our veggie burgers, and people would get those every day. And so you just have to change it up and switch it up. And so that's what we are, I guess you could say, forcing people to do by offering a selected menu every day. I think every day we get somebody new. Somebody new that either is interested in going on a healthy eating journey, that just doesn't know where to start, and they come here because they look up healthy restaurants,
right,
and they say, I read your reviews and it looks good, so I came here. And we also get people who are into their health, but we're able to take them or to introduce them to a new level of health. And so I would say every single day we get somebody new that comes in that leaves with more than they came with. I would say we get people from all over the country, and we get people from Springfield that come every day. And so I think that during the pandemic especially, although we get new customers and visitors every day that come from all over the country, even other countries, honestly, the people in the community that come here and that are our regulars and support us every day, they're the people that have been able to, aka Anthony Porter, they've been able to really allow us to survive throughout, many uncertain times.
Hi, my name is Kale Mason. I've worked here for about 2 years. I work in the detox department, but when I first started working here, I worked in the cafe part. I did smoothies, soups, I did pastries for a little bit, but Emil does that now. Now I do detoxes. I capsule herbs, sea moss, and I help out in the kitchen when they need it. Okay, so this is our detoxes. We also get our products from the fig tree. We make our own eye bright. This is for your eyes. We make our own tea bags for drinks and iron cafe. This is for your eyes. We also sell thermal, and we also sell pills for our detoxes, which has different payment plans, and it comes with food also from the cafe. And we also have other detox plans with fitness and home renovation. And this is our different examples of sea moss. This is different examples of bad sea moss and good sea moss. So you know which sea moss you should be buying. You can buy from us. We have gel and powder and dry.
So tell me.
Okay, so this is the bad. If you can see, it's still angled. This has a lot of salt and it's really dry. And sea moss, well, the only ingredient sea moss will have is sea moss. It's not going to have anything added, any of that. Ingredients on the back. And we sell purple sea moss, and we also sell green sea moss. Green sea moss has chlorophyll in it, but both sell the gel.
Okay.
Yeah, sea moss comes from the ocean. It has 92 of 102 minerals. Yeah. So you can put it in your smoothie. You can put it on your body. You can take a scoop of it. You can take it dry. You can take it gelled. Really, it's just good. You should take it every day.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mo. I work here at the garden. And I'm here almost every day just helping out with the day-to-day stuff, getting the breakfast ready in the morning, getting the lunch ready, taking care of the customers. I even do some of the baking that comes in on in here. Some alkaline vegan pastries we do here. I do that. We try to give our little twist of, the conventional pastries out in the world that use sugar, dairy, all the hybridized stuff. We try to take that all out, and then we do our own little alkaline twist to it, just to give back to the community what they might be missing if they switch up to the alkaline side. So I make those pastries here every Monday before that fridge up, or Tuesday, whichever, it depends on the circumstance and situation. But yeah, I used to just come in and out of here, I used to kick it with Zeph, and it just ended up, I just ended up getting back in there and really learning how to cook. So it's been a couple months now. So now I'm in there almost every day, just getting it together, getting stuff done, ready for the day. It's all thanks to Zeph, really. He's the one who really got me back there and really showed me. Because I know there's some times when he was short-staffed himself, and he was just by himself in there, so I just go back there and help him out. And then it just turned into me, I just started picking up what's going on in there, all the little techniques and stuff, what to do, how to season the food, how to prep it, how to put it together, and all that. So it's all thanks to him, really.
Hi, I'm Brianna, and I am I guess you can call me the front girl for the Garden of Eden. I've been working here on and off for almost a year. I've moved around to a lot of different departments, and so I got to learn a little bit about the overall goal for the cafe. So my goal here as the front lady is to sort of give people a little bit of information with every meal. So for example, when we give people our meals, we want them to know that after a meal you want to wait at least an hour before having any fluids. Even though we give them spring water with their meal, it's recommended that you don't eat them together. So when customers come in here, that's a little bit of a fun fact we like to give them. Also, we sell sea moss here, as well as other herbs and products. And so when I sell that to customers, I also let them know the recommended way to prepare it. For example, with customers who buy sea moss, we let them know that they will need to soak it in spring water and rinse off the excess salt. That they need to blend it with a pretty strong blender, and we always recommend the Vitamix. Not that this is sponsored, but they are a really good blender for sea moss because it could overpower your blender. We give them that information and we let them know what it could be used for and how they can prepare it, and if they have a hard time taking it down, that they can substitute it into their smoothies, into their pancake mix, into their everything really. So that's a little bit about what I do here. I'm also interested in the vegan lifestyle, so I like to learn about people's journeys and how they get here and hopefully give them a little bit more encouragement as to how they can transition into the vegan lifestyle without feeling burdened by the barrier of what to eat or what herbs to take. So I would say that the Garden Vegan is that one-stop shop, and all the employees here kind of work together to give everyone a full experience.
So one of the things that at the Garden that we really pride ourselves on is hiring young people. And so everyone that works here is of high school age and of their 20s, because you know, it's very easy. It's easy to change and to influence young people, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. I'm young myself, and there's so many things that I've been able to learn about people, about running a small business, about being professional customer service, and understanding what it means to give people an experience and having your hand in that. And that is something that we definitely pride ourselves on, is giving that to other people, and you know, hoping that they go out when their time is finished with us, hoping that they go out and make the world better and be able to say, you know, these are some of the things that I've learned that are universal, that can be applied anywhere. And so that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, as well as just changing the narrative around health in our community. I tell people every time they come in, you know, one of their biggest things to tell me is that I don't know how to make vegan food. I don't know how to cook like this. And one of the things that I tell people is that there is no formula. This is a clean slate. You're starting with a clean slate, and there's so many resources like that the internet provides that there's no limit to what you can do when you're in this lifestyle. And so for anyone that feels discouraged or like, I don't know where to start, you can come to the Garden and we'll be your starting place. But there's really no limit to where you can go. We tell people all the time, you know, we get upset when people come and show us pictures of the things they cook. We're like, well, you didn't bring anything for us. And so that's one of the things that I want people to know, is that there is no limit to a health journey. I'm learning every day. Everybody's learning every day. And I just tell people it starts in the mind, and as soon as you want to do it in your mind, your body follows. And so the other thing that we do at the Garden is make everything homemade and fresh, even down to the salad dressings. And that really, so if you're ever calling and we say, oh, about 35 minutes for your burger, it's because everything that we do is fried on hand and made on hand. And so even down to the water that we use to cook. So we go to the spring in Munson multiple times a week, and that is the only water we use in our kitchen. And so we are really about doing our best with the circumstances that we have to provide our community with a resource that they would otherwise not have access to. And so we're located on 439 White Street, right across from the Sunoco gas station. And our hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8 to 7 p.m. And then we're open on Saturdays from 11 to 3 p.m. We have Soup Saturdays. Myself and Brianna and our other friend Mahara, we have a podcast called She Thinks She Knows, and we work with the garden to host these Soup Saturdays to, fundraise for a big event that She Thinks She Knows is about to put on, as well as to bring that environment of conversation and food and vegan food and just healthy eating. We bring that to our podcast as well, as all of us are plant-based, and so we often love meshing the two. And so Monday through Friday 8 to 7 and Saturdays 11 to 3. And you can contact us at 413-233-7216, and you can have any question and we'll try our best to get you an answer. So,
And where can they watch the podcast?
The podcast is called She Thinks She Knows Podcast, and it's located on all podcast streaming platforms. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and we're also on YouTube. And with us being young and being around fruitful conversation all the time, we see a need to document this, and so this is what we do. So give that a listen and follow the garden on Facebook. It's Garden of Eden Springfield. Instagram, Garden of Eden 1.